I'm Rachel. I already off the bat, I do not agree with a lot of politically what any of you have to say, but I'm a part of Bridge Pittsburgh, which is an organization that believes in having civil discussion without yelling at each other. So I actually have some friends from Turning Point back there, even though I am a registered Democrat. So what's up, Jesse?
That's cool. I like that,
my question is actually for you, Vivek. First off, thanks for coming. Second, as a person of color, and as someone of Indian descent, does it offend you whenever there's comments made about Kamala and some racial insensitivities on that? Does that offend you in any way or hurt you, or does that drive you to still try to be representative of your party, even when those comments are made by your party?
Give me a specific comment.
Okay, well, for example, the recent thing that was if Kamala got elected, the White House would smell like curry. Does that offend you in any way, or is that just like drive for you to?
For the record, Trump did not say that.
No, Donald Trump did not say that. But it was still implied as there's a presidential election needs to happen.
I'm a pretty thick-skinned guy. I can tell the difference between somebody who has an earnest joke and the person who actually happens to say that. I happen to know doesn't have ill will towards Indian people. But if you're going to joke, my only rule is you better apply it 360 degrees. Okay, you can't apply it selectively. Here's actually my view on this: is a lot of Indian Americans across the country actually have been somewhat disappointed for a long time about Kamala Harris's willingness to engage with and listen to a lot of the concerns even of the Indian American community. I'll tell you what one of them is relating to merit in getting into college, merit in getting into jobs without regard to your skin color, your discrimination. I think most people want that better life for their kids. And so I think most people think about that regardless of their skin color, but if you're thinking about actual concerns of the Indian American community, that's probably very high on the list, and Kamala Harris is failing to embody that. Now, for me, my own view is, let me level with you a little bit. I actually think we have seen an unusual level, like this is in the last year, okay? And it's strange. A small uptick in anti-black and anti-Hispanic racism in the country. And I would have never thought we were going to see it. Here's why I think we've seen it. I think we've seen it as a reactionary response to the anti-racist movement for the last 10 years, because there's no better way to foster racial animus than to take something else away from someone based on their skin color. So when you say you don't get that federal aid, or you don't get that seat in college, or you don't get that job because of your skin color, you're going to have a negative attitude towards the person who was favored because of their race.
Okay.
And this is what's going on in Springfield, too, by the way, when I'm visiting tomorrow.
Lord.
No, in a certain sense, if you're going to put 20,000 people who are not going to be able to integrate into that community, I sympathize with people who are suffering as a consequence of that. That's necessarily going to spawn a reactionary response.
I did agree with you on that when you said that earlier.
But then you can't blame the reactionary response and say they're responsible for the division. I think that's a lot of those